Hi, I'm Liam. I'm mixed race. My grandparents are from Sierra Leone, Lebanon, Ireland and England. And I'm from Orpington. I really wanted to do this because I feel like I've grown up and not really ever really been in touch with my culture, and I feel like I've come to a point in my life where my father's died and my mother's getting older, and I really need to get in touch with that to feel a little bit more whole. I don't really blame my parents. They've never really discussed their past or where they've come from, and I think that's because another side of me is that I am working class, and that I think my parents have grown up always being aspirational and trying to push harder and push to somewhere else, and generally that meant being very white in the area I grew up in. So we grew up in a very white area. We were always pushed to kind of go that bit further and stay in a very suburban life, which meant leaving the past behind. But I can't really blame my parents for that. My mum came to London when she was 16 on a boat to study fashion, and hung up with the Rolling Stones and met my dad, who was a featherweight boxer. And I look back at those dreams of those young people when they were that young, and what they really wanted to be and who they were, and how they were sort of beaten down by that, by having to have children and living this sort of aspirational life, and how they've passed that on to us. And somehow amongst that, the culture's been lost, and I don't blame them for that, but it has. But I want to reclaim that, and that's where I start now, and I want to tell their stories, and I want to know their stories. I work in theatre, I work with young people, and I work in a theatre that brings unheard voices into the mainstream. My voice is an unheard voice, my mother's voice, my grandmother's voice is an unheard voice, and I want to bring that into the fore. I want to bring that into 2018 and to my children when I have them. But I also want the young people I work with to understand their grandparents, to understand their great grandparents. I want to be able to enable people to understand their stories and tell their stories and know where they're from. I think we can only really live in a celebratory, wonderful culture if we celebrate the past and we celebrate who we are, where we're from.